Say hi to Pat.
So, yes,
Hi,
hello, Pat. So, for those of you who aren't Pat, hi to you too. So, this is Sunday, the June the 20.
May.
Oh, is it May? Oh, yeah, we're looking at the June calendar. It's May the 22nd?
22nd. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I was going to read something about Ramana Maharshi, but I was reading this to my family and they said, oh, you have to read that. So I have to read this. So this is a little reading of one of the talks by fellow Swami Rama Tirtha, uh, who lived in, I think he was born about 1875. Spent a year or two in the U.S. in 1903, where he uh, gave talks and he met the president and all that. He was a very interesting fellow, very bright. He died at very young, about 33. But his writings are full of incredible fervor and turn of intellect. So check this out. This little talk is called Civilization. Stretched beneath the cedars and pines, a cool stone serving for pillow, the soft sand for bed, one leg resting carelessly on the other, drinking fresh air with a whole heart, kissing the glorious light with fullness of joy, singing Om, letting the murmuring stream to keep time. Rama is questioned, half in joke, by a visitor, some upstart of civilization. Why do you import Asiatic laziness into America? Go out, do some good. Rama. Oh, my dear self, as to doing good, is not that profession already choked, overcrowded? Leave me alone, me and my Rama. Laziness, did you say? Oriental laziness? Why? What is laziness? Is it not laziness to keep floundering in the quagmire of conventionality and let oneself flow down the current of custom and fashion and sink like a dead weight in the well of appearances and be caught in the pond of possession and spend the time which should be God's in making gold and calling it doing good? Is it not laziness to practically let others live your life and have no freedom in dress, eating, walking, sleeping, laughing, and weeping, not to say anything of talking? Is it not laziness to lose your Godhead? What for is this hurry and worry, this breakneck hot haste and feverish rush? To accumulate the almighty dollar like others, and what then? To enjoy as others? No. There is no enjoyment in running after enjoyment. Oh dear dupes of opinions, why postpone your enjoyment? Why don't you sit down here in this natural garden on the banks of this beautiful mountain stream and enjoy the company of your real blood relations? Free air, silvery light, playful water, and green earth, relations of which your blood is really formed. Hidebound in caste are the civilized nations. They separate themselves from fellow beings and exile themselves from free, open nature and fresh, fragrant natural life into closed drawing rooms, dens, and dungeons. They banish themselves from the wide world, excommunicate themselves from all creation, ostracize themselves from plants and animals by arrogating to themselves airs of superiority, prestige, respectability, honor, and cut themselves into isolated stagnation. Have mercy, my friends. Have mercy on yourselves. The wealth, the wealth swept out of possession of the more needy and added to your property by organized craft will enable you simply to have sickening dinners of hotels and taverns and furnish you with pallid countenances and conventional looks. Will imprison you in boxes called rooms choked with the stink of artificiality and keep you all the time in restlessness of mind, excited by all sorts of unnatural stimulants, physical and mental. Why all such fuss for mere self-delusion? In the name of such supposed pleasures, lose not your hold on real joy, No need of beating about the bush. Come, enjoy it now. And here, come lie with me on the grass. Don't you waste away your life in soliciting the Don't you waste away your life in soliciting the favor of silver or gold to insure your life? Can your life be insured by becoming rich in money and paying in time? Don't you believe it, O deluded immortal? Why seek excuses for existence in rush and push about dainty trifles? Then he quotes a short poem by Wordsworth. The world is much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that would be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not, great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on the pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Tristan blow his wreathed horn. And that's William Wordsworth. Then the song Rama goes on. The so-called advanced nations of Europe and America are only in advanced stages of mortification. Advancement means spiritual or intellectual advancement. True progress must touch the real man and not waste itself on his mere shadow. Progress has nothing to do with material riches or with multiplying of unnecessary necessities. The ancient Aryans, wearing magnificent works, living unsophisticated, free lives, and owning nothing in the world, led a mode of life to be repeated by history again with proper modifications. Present civilization is sidetracked from its main end. Man is talked of just as they speak of corn and wheat, with prices rising and falling. Rise above it. Nothing can set a price on you. And he goes on. But I'm going to read you a little poem of his. I mean, English was his third language, can you believe? Amazing fellow. This little poem, untitled. I am the mote in the sunbeam, and I am the burning sun. Rest here, I whisper the atom. I call to the orb, roll on. I am the blush of the morning, and I am the evening breeze. I am the leaf's low murmur, the swell of the terrible seas. I am the net, the fowler, the bird, and its frightened cry, the mirror, the form reflected, the sound, and its echo I. The lover's passionate pleading, the maiden's whispered fear. The warrior, the blade that strikes him, his mother's heart-wrung tear. I am intoxication, grapes, winepress, and musk and wine. The guest, the host, the traveler, the goblet of crystal fine. I am the breath of the flute, and I am the mind of man. Gold's glitter, the light of the diamond, the sea pearl's luster wan. The rose, her poet nightingale, the songs from the throat that rise, the flint, the sparks, the taper, the moth that about it flies. I am both good and evil, the deed and the deed's intent, temptation, victim, sinner, crime, pardon, and punishment. I am all that was, is, will be, creation's ascent and fall. The link, the chain of existence, beginning and end of all. Lo, the trees of the wood are my next of kin, and the rocks are alive with what beats in me. The clay is my flesh, and the fox my skin. I'm fierce with the gadfly, and sweet with the bee. The flower is naught but the bloom of my love, and the waters run down in the tune I dream. The sun is my flower, uphung above. I flash with lightning, with falcons scream. I was never born, yet my births of breath are as many as waves on the sleepless sea. I cannot die, though forever death weave back and fro in the warp of me. I'd say he's sort of blissed out. But I must read this little bit of Ramana Maharshi. So Ramana Maharshi was born, I think, in 1879 and died in the mid-40s, 1940s. And he's acknowledged as one of the most deeply enlightened men ever, and quite different in style from Nisargadatta Maharaj, the other Vedantists that I read from, but a unique, amazing sage. Now, he had no spiritual training at all, but had a spontaneous enlightenment experience when he was just 17, and he describes it. So I'll read a little bit from this. Is from the collected works of Ramana Maharshi. So, the author or the whoever compiled this, the editor, says this little introduction. To say that the Maharshi realized the self does not mean that he understood any new doctrine or theory or achieved any higher state or miraculous powers, but that the I became constantly identical with the Atman, that is, the universal self or spirit. The Maharshi himself has described in simple picturesque language how this happened. And he quotes, this is Ramana Maharshi. It was about 6 weeks before I left Madura for good that the great change in my life took place. It was quite sudden. I was sitting alone in a room on the first floor of my uncle's house. I seldom had any sickness, and on that day there was nothing wrong with my health, but a sudden violent fear of death overtook me. There was nothing in my state of health to account for it, and I did not try to account for it or to find out whether there was any reason for the fear. I just felt, I'm going to die, and began thinking what to do about it. It did not occur to me to consult a doctor or my elders or friends. I felt that I had to solve the problem for myself, there and then. The shock of the fear of death drove my mind inwards, and I said to myself mentally, without actually framing the words, now death has come. What does it mean? What is it that is dying? The body dies. And I at once dramatized the occurrence of death. I lay with my limbs outstretched, stiff, as though rigor mortis had set in, and imitated a corpse so as to give greater reality to the inquiry. I held my breath and kept my lips tightly closed so that no sound could escape, so that neither the word I nor any other word could be uttered. Well then, I said to myself, the body is dead. It will be carried stiff to the burning ground, and there be burned and reduced to ashes. But with the death of this body, am I dead? Is the body I? It is silent and inert, but I feel the full force of my personality and even the voice of the I within me apart from it. So I am spirit transcending the body. The body dies, but the spirit that transcends it cannot be touched by death. That means that I am the deathless spirit. All this was not dull thought. It flashed through me vividly as living truth which I perceived directly, almost without thought process. I was something very real, the only real thing about my present state, and all the conscious activity connected with my body was centered on that I. From that moment onwards, the I, or self, focused attention on itself by a powerful fascination. Fear of death had vanished once and for all. Absorption in the self continued unbroken from that time on. Other thoughts might come and go like the various notes of music, but the I continued like the fundamental Shruti note that underlies and blends with all other notes. It's like a pedal point for musicians. That's the way we refer to it. Whether the body was engaged in talking, reading, or anything else, I was still centered on I. Previous to that crisis, I had no clear perception of myself and was not consciously connected to it. I felt no perceptible or direct interest in it, much less any inclination to dwell permanently in it. And his story is like quite amazing. That he made his way to the mountain Arunachala and stayed there for the rest of his life. And there's another compilation of his works that has a foreword by Carl Jung. He was one of the first Eastern sages to be become known in the West. So let's sit. Let the body breathe and let the mind feel. Feel means feel sensations in and around the body. We're going to tour inner space. Take deep breath. Another. And another. And we use the acronym RELAX. R. Relax the body. Just say, I relax my body. We'll go through the steps quite quickly. E. Feel the electrical body. Body is full of vibration. Particularly we feel vibration as tingling, usually first felt in the hands and face. L. Listen to the sound current, that ringing in the ears. This is a special phenomenon. A. The all-seeing eye. What is it that you see with eyes closed? We still see. We see that the eyes are closed. And we see our dreams. Where does that light come from? Now to the X. Reach back and back. What is it that sees? What is the source of this light? No going out. Rest in that. This is coexistent with the feeling I am. I exist. Rest there. Now once more. We're going from gross to subtle. First, relax the body. We feel vibrations in the body, heartbeat, breathing. You may feel the heart shake the whole body. The electrical body, a finer vibration. Feel tingling throughout the body. L, listen to the sound current. There are many different sounds internally. And can you tell for sure if a sound is inside or outside? A, for the all-seeing eye. See also the thought field. But watch your thoughts like you watch traffic, bemusedly. Now, what is it that sees? We're focusing now not on that which we see, not on the act of seeing, but on that which is the root of seeing, which is the source of light, the source of being, the core of ourself, the I. Now survey the body. Once more, relax. Just say, I relax my body. Feel the electrical body. More subtle now, the sound current. More subtle now, experience of light. And the subtlest of all, the source of light, the self, the X, the point of knowing. The I. Reach back and back. I am. What is this I? Note that everyone uses the same term, I. We are all I. tingling in the body. You can feel the whole body full of vibration. Feel vibration from the body to the surroundings, surroundings to the body. Hear the sound current. Now does sound come to the ear, or does the ear go to the sound? To light. When we open our eyes, does the light rush in, or does the light rush out? Let the thinking mind go to sleep. Whatever occurs, watch it without judgment. No taking sides. Immediately sit back and enjoy the show. We are not anything that we perceive or conceive. We are the ultimate subject. One practice is, whatever you come across, go beyond. When a thought arises, say, to whom does this thought arise? Everything reminds me that I am. Practice that. Whatever sensation arises, I see this. I see that. Ramana Maharshi said this: asked the ocean, how can I be like you? The ocean said, relax. Now 1 minute. No thinking. Means no labeling, no language. Doesn't mean nothing will happen, but we don't follow it or judge it. Like mentally holding the breath. No tension in body, no intention in mind. A little bit more. Survey the body. Note the difference in how it feels from when you started. The mind is receptive now. Tell the mind, oh mind, riddle me this. What am I? Really? If not the body, if not the mind, what then? What am I? the greatest question ever raised. Om Triambakam Vijamahe Sugandhim Pushtivartanam Murvarukamiva Bandhanan Mitror Mukshiyamamritat Swaha. Om Triambakam Vijamahe Sugandhim Pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mitror mukshiyamamritat swaha. Om Triambakam Vijamahe Sugandhim Pushtivartanam Urvarukamiva bandhanan mitror mukshiyamamritat swaha. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. There's no coming out of meditation. Just carry on. This is not hypnotism. This is waking up.
It was so nice, honey. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to take the phone off the hook.
Yes, I know, but
We were lucky nobody phoned.
the universe was merciful,
Yes.
and the phone didn't ring.
Yes, because that's a very loud phone.
Oh.
That alarm going off is my cell phone.
Okay, so now we're going to have tea. So I see you anon.